Hey Book Besties, I'm Haley.
And I'm McCayleigh. Welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist.
Season 2 is here, and we're messier, moodier, and more obsessed with fictional men than ever.
Expect chaos and all the twists your TBR can handle.
Let's get plot twisty!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We have such an exciting episode today because we're joined by an incredible guest, New York Times and USA Today best-selling author, Sarah Beth Durst.
Today we are talking about how she got started writing, her creative process, what it felt like to hit the New York Times bestseller list, and what readers can expect from Sea of Charms, which is the next book in the Spell Shop series.
Yes, welcome to the podcast, Sarah. We're so happy to have you here.
I am so happy to be talking with you too. I've been looking forward to this all day, so it's so great to meet you and be here.
Yes,
This
we're
is
so glad.
Yes, we are like so pumped.
Yes.
Just anytime I have an interview, I just sit here like, oh my gosh, I just like finished their book. I feel like I've been inside your head, and now I just have so many questions.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's always what it feels like when you finish a book and send it out in the world. You're like, here, enter my soul.
Yes. Oh my God, it's like your book child. It's just boom.
It is. But then it
crazy.
becomes the nice part. Whenever I finish a book, I'm actually always, I know I'm supposed to celebrate, but I always feel a little sad because I've spent time falling in love with these characters and hanging out, and then I have to say goodbye. But the thing that makes it kind of okay is knowing that it goes out in the world and then gets to live inside somebody else's heart. And that just makes it feel complete.
Yeah, like
So-
it doesn't just die. It gets to live on, and
Yes,
we love that so much.
Point. I mean, the whole thing with the book, the reason why it's so magical is it exists in that liminal space between the reader and the writer. It becomes this shared dream. And I just think that's so magical and such a cool thing.
That was
Oh
so
my gosh.
poetic.
You seem like such a magical person. Oh my gosh.
Yes, which
Yes.
makes sense. Like the books you write, it just meeting you now, I'm like, okay, this is making sense. This makes so
That's
much
very
sense.
me.
The actual
Yes.
books.
I put my
Oh.
entire soul into these things.
That is incredible. And for listeners who might be newer to your work, can you tell us a little bit about your background and yourself and how you like just got started into writing fantasy as a whole?
Yeah, I write primarily fantasy, usually with things talking that shouldn't talk.
I love cats.
It is funny when you write a lot of books, you start discovering the things you're obsessed with, and one of them is things talking that shouldn't talk.
I love it.
Yeah. Other thing that I like to write about is hope. Hope and empowerment. That is what drew me to fantasy in the first place. When I was a kid, I was very shy and always my nose in a book, to the point where my parents were like, all right, you need fresh air. Go outside. And I would bring my book. But the thing I love, the books I was always drawn to, are those ones that when you close them, you feel like the world is a little bit more magical than you thought it was. That there's some bit of wonder lurking behind that
Yes,
tree
yeah.
over there. And if you just go look behind it, you'll go find a dragon's egg, which is what I did when they threw me outside without my book. I would search for a dragon's egg. So I was kind of, from a very young age, sort of destined to be in love with these kind of stories and just want to live inside these stories forever. And being a writer is the only thing I've ever wanted to do. Just, well, except when I was 5 and I desperately wanted to be Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. But I've always loved stories. I've just always been in love with that idea that you can go on this journey into worlds and meet friends that don't even exist. And then it becomes your story. And I've always wanted to bring that into the world, to bring magical stories into the world for other people to journey through. And for me, books are all books. Every single book, even the bad ones, are a writer screaming, you are not alone. And that's just what I want my books to do. I want them to make people feel connected, to be able to escape into this world that belongs to other people too, you know?
I'm going to
Yes.
cry, Sarah.
Yes.
I love what you're
Yes.
everything that you're saying is like I feel it in my soul. And it's just like, I feel how you feel about books, and no one else, like, in my family, they're not really big readers. So when I say these things, they're like, "You are so crazy. Like, what type of tangent are you on right now?"
No,
No,
So
you're
crazy
so well
all.
spoken.
yes.
Wow.
What I think is really cool about your work is that, and first of all, I want to say congratulations, you have written over 30 books.
I have.
Oh my gosh, that is insane.
Wow.
Like, wow. And what's really cool is that some of them range from adult fantasy to even children's stories.
Hmm.
And you've written books for adults, teenagers, middle schoolers. How does your creative process sort of shift depending on who you're writing for?
It depends what kind of story it is. And I should tell you, okay, so when my first book came out, my husband, who's super sweet and like incredibly supportive, framed the cover art and put it on the wall because like we published a book. And now the wall is looking very crowded. And I call my wall of happy and I
I can
go in,
only
it's like
imagine.
taking over, it's like above the doorway. It's
What an
really
amazing
nice,
problem to have.
I know.
right? I go in there whenever I get stuck on something and I'm like, all right, you
Wow.
can do
You're
this.
like,
You
I've
did
done
it
all of
before.
this. I can surely do this.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I actually don't approach the different age ranges any different. And I feel that writers that do are the ones that get themselves into trouble. Because if you sit down, for instance, I write kids' books for middle grade ages 8 to 12, right? If a writer sits down and says, I shall write now for the children,
Oh,
yeah, it's gonna come through. Kids will, like, sense that immediately. You just need to be telling a story about a 12-year-old and tell it as emotionally honestly as possible. And so that's what I do. Once I choose my protagonist, I just try to see the world through their eyes as clearly as I can. And then it either comes out YA, middle grade, adult, depending on
Oh,
whose eyes I'm
wow.
looking through. And I choose who the protagonist is kind of based on the themes of the story, what kind of journey the character's going on, right? So, for instance, if it is a character who is experiencing a lot of firsts, their first step outside the house, their first dragon, their first friend, their first adventure, then it's pretty much going to be a 12-year-old and it's going to come out middle grade. If it's somebody that's, trying to define themselves outside of their family and their friends, trying to make a difference in the world, to experience things for the first time or, save the world or topple the dystopian, whatever, then they're going to be 16 and it's going to be YA. If I'm writing about something where it's somebody that's starting over or getting a second chance or dealing with loss or grief or regrets or finding their way to reinvent who they are, they're going to be an adult. And that is why I wrote Spell Shop and Enchanted Greenhouse and Sea of Charms for the adult market and older readers. The younger readers can read them. Why not? Talking about
right.
whatever.
Right.
Um, but because I wanted to write about starting over, I wanted to write about ordinary people finding joy in a time of chaos because I feel like that's what's going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so amazing. And the way that you just made it sound like it was so easy, which I know it's not easy, but the way you talk about it, it comes so naturally to you.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh yeah, I start writing and then whoever it's for, it's for. For
Yeah.
me, when I think about writers gonna write this young adult novel, I feel like I'm gonna write a young adult novel, and then they'll write the young adult. I'm gonna write
Right.
a children's book. I'm like, ugh. But the way you just described it sounds like it should be the right way for everyone
Yeah.
to ever write a book,
Yeah.
and I wish that
I
was
know. It's the only way I can do it. I mean, I have to fall in love with these characters. They have to feel absolutely real to me. And like if you're writing about a kid, the thing is, you're not writing about a kid as in like a stock character kid
Yes.
thing.
Right.
You're writing about a person who happens to have a certain number of years of lived experience. And the same
right.
holds true with any age range you're writing. Everybody's going to have a past, everybody's going to have dreams of the future. So it's just who the character is matters so much more than what their age is.
Wow. And I mean, we're already talking about this writing process, but what does, again, if there's more to your writing process, please let me know. I need this information.
There's a
And
lot of
also,
chocolate and hot chocolate, I can tell you
oh,
that.
that sounds amazing, actually. So can you tell us what does your typical day look like for you? And you mentioned when you came on that you were writing earlier today, do you write a certain number of words each day? Or I'm just trying to picture 30 books under your belt, plus 30 plus.
Right.
And how does this happen? What do you do? Please tell us.
Well, I have absolutely no work-life balance, like, whatsoever. But I actually love that. It's a choice.
Uh-huh.
I like to just have story intertwined throughout my day. I wake up, I write a little bit, I have some breakfast. Well, sometimes I eat breakfast while I'm writing. Food is like a big thing with me. Then I'll write a little more. I'll empty the dishwasher. I'll write a little more. I'll do something else. I'll write a little more. And some days life interferes more than others. You have to go to the dentist. You have to do
Yeah.
this. You have to help a family member with that, whatever. But I'm still writing. I try to write every day, and there are two reasons for that. One, I like it. It makes me
Yeah.
happy. The world feels more balanced when I've written. And the other is sheer practicality. For me, the writing flows more smoothly if I stay inside the story. Because like every book's got a music to it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's got a melody, it's got its own rhythms, it's got its heartbeat, the drums, the all of that. And if I can stay connected to that music, then when I sit down to write, it's going to come out with that song. Whereas if I take time and step away from the story, I have to remember, what did that sound like?
So we have to talk about the spell shop. One of my favorite cozy. You are the queen of cozy fantasy.
Yes.
We should have said that at the beginning. Yes, you are our queen of cozy fantasy. This is how I first found your book, Sarah. So I have to know what sort of drew you in to, well, specifically to the spell shop's more warm, cozy, comforting tone.
March 2020. I can pinpoint it.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah,
all tell
yeah.
you about March 2020.
Right?
gosh.
I
Wow.
found myself retreating to those comfort reads, the books that I loved as a kid. I like reread all of Tamara Pierce, all Mercedes Lackey, Patricia McKillop, Robin McKinley, Terry Brooks. Like I just dive right back into those things that I read when I was 10 years old and had finished reading everything in the children's section and was way too terrified to go in the YA section because there were teens there. That's horrifying. So I went to the adult section and read all those. So I
Right.
went to all of those books that made me feel that way, that made me feel like, oh, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
I'm back in Narnia. I'm back in Damar. I'm back in Tortal. And I just thought to myself, I want to write books that make people feel this way. I want to write books that make people feel like they have a refuge, a sanctuary, that they can take a deep breath, that they can like remember what's good in the world. And
Yeah.
so that's where I started. This is actually okay. So usually when I write my books, I start with, an idea, as one should. But with these books, I really started with the vibe, just how I wanted the reader to feel. And I crafted everything coming off of that. Like, what
Wow.
things make me happy?
Yeah.
Wow. Man, my next question was going to be what inspired you specifically to write the spell shop, but that kind of answered it. And
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah.
pretty much wrote on my screen things that make me happy. I didn't put a really list
Yeah,
of like,
I love that.
select a bunch.
Oh my gosh, no, I will say this is my first ever cozy fantasy read. And I gave it, I was like, 5 stars. This is my first ever. The whole time I was reading it, I don't know if you're familiar with like video games, but I was like, I want to play Stardew Valley now. And these cozy farming simulator games.
Right.
Like, I just want to own a coffee shop in the middle of a lost island. Like, that is all I want to do.
How you should feel.
And we have to know what inspired
Yes.
Kaz, our favorite talking spider plant of all things. That
Let me
is
show you what a reader gave me. This was in at Cragen Library in Connecticut. A reader came up with this. Right? It's so sweet. Isn't that
Aw.
amazing?
It's
Oh
Kaz.
my
Oh, Kaz.
That is so cute.
One of the coolest things I did not predict with the spell shop is how many people would send me photos of their spider plants. It's been making me so happy.
Oh
They're
Yeah.
like,
my
"Here's my Cass.
God.
Oh, I love you."
Wow. But
So
no, that's so
that's
unique.
But
So
the idea for Kaz actually came out of that list that I made of things that make me happy. I wrote one of the things that I wrote, fairly far down after I wrote books, libraries, and a whole lot of food items, obviously, croissants and jam, cinnamon rolls, and so forth. Now I'm hungry. But one of the items I wrote was sentient succulent because I really liked the alliteration.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
But I'd already decided, because first on my list was libraries. So I'd already decided I wanted
Mm-hmm.
librarian to be my main character. And I thought, cactus is too pointy to be a library assistant. So I
Right.
selected a spider plant for the long leaves and the tendrils because they can turn pages. So
Mhm.
a practical decision.
That's amazing.
Oh, I love
I love
Kaz. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love that's where your head went to like plants, like talking plants, talking anything the way you described earlier.
Yeah.
That is so unique to me and I'm obsessed.
Right.
Yay!
And what's
Yay!
even what's also cool is in the second one, in the Enchanted Greenhouse, which
Oh, that
yes, yes, there's also talking plants, which I loved.
Wow.
And I was
Like of course.
while I was reading, I was like, Kaz, where are you? Flipping through the pages. I was like, you're not here. I forgot you're not here. My favorite.
It's a different island, but
I
yes,
know.
Enchanted Greenhouse has an excessive number of magical plants, and I
I
just
know.
amused myself so greatly. I'm like, my editor's never gonna let me keep these all in. And then she did. It made me very
Wow.
happy. So
Yeah,
they
and what's really
stay.
cool too while you're reading it is they all sort of have their own personality for being a
Mhm.
plant, which is so cool. I just loved it so much.
But
It's
thank you. They
amazing.
were really fun to write. Yeah, I always think about my minor characters. Every minor character thinks that they're the main character. They all think they're the
Yeah.
protagonist. They all have to have
Uh,
their own past and their own future. So I approach them pretty much the same way I do any major characters. So in
right.
my mind, the little fireweed goes on to have a glorious future.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's why your stories are so great because
Yeah.
you take the time to make them, they're not just background extras. They're actually part of the
Yeah.
story and just as much as the
Yeah.
main protagonist is. So I love that you do that. Oh my gosh. And I just have to say, do you know Aurora the singer? She's a singer.
That's
She has
familiar.
blonde hair. She's very in tune with nature and she sings
Mhm.
about nature. But I need you to look her up after this.
Okay, I will. I will. I feel like I would like that.
The way she's so passionate about nature and she sings about nature, I when you talk about your stories, I'm like, okay, this is the equivalent in the book world. Your passion for writing and the way you talk about it is just
Aw.
on the same page. And I just love the way you talk about it too. And it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And you've been publishing books for like 2 decades now. And
Yeah, I guess I have.
Wow.
which I'm sure you've seen everything in the publishing world. Like, I would love to sit all day and listen to any stories you have, but can you just tell us what the differences are from your very first novel to now? Like, how has this journey been so far?
I think that the keyword is journey, exactly as you said. I think there's so many people that approach being a writer as thinking as, "Oh, I wanna get a book on the shelf," like, as if it's a single point in time, which really very much not. It's very much a journey, the whole thing, that being published, that is just a moment, and you go, "Yay, that's great, yay," and then it's over. So you really have to love the journey. You have to love stringing sentences together because that's really what it's about. Most of the
Yeah.
time you're creating stories and you don't know what's gonna become of them, but you have to love the act of creating them to get you through it. And I think the key thing to know with any publishing journey, mine or anybody else's, if you've been in this for long enough, that there are always ups and downs.
Yeah.
So whether your first book is shot out of a cannon and like in every store in all the bookstores, whatever, you stick with it, you're gonna have a low. If your book starts out super small and not really many people read it, you can still have a high. So I think that's a thing that I didn't really know in the beginning, and I kind of wish someone had told me is that
Yeah.
it's gonna be okay. The only part that you can control is what you write and how much you write. And everything else, there'll be highs and there'll be lows and they'll be out of your control. So you just need to eat more chocolate and write more words.
Right. How did it feel whenever you discovered that you were first picked up traditionally?
Oh, yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, I can only
Oh,
imagine.
cool.
That was the huge moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really big. Yeah, I mean, here's the other thing. When you're on a journey, especially a long one and not just like a one book one, there are lots of little lovely moments, and I think it's so important to treasure them. Like the first time you see your cover art, the first time somebody typesets a new book and you get to see it looking like it's, the first time
Yeah.
you see one at a library, it looks like it's all dressed up to go to prom.
Oh
Like
my goodness.
Yeah.
the first time I had a big first this past year, somebody got a tattoo of Kaz and Meep. I and I
Wow. Oh.
That's so
Little
cute.
things like that when people send you fan art, like, there's so many moments that are so cool, and you just gotta treasure them and sort of, like, hold them in your heart for those moments when you're
Yeah.
staring at a screen going, "Gee, I wonder what a verb is." So, yeah, it was a really big moment that when I found out that the first book was gonna be published, but it was also just as big a moment when I found out the 30th book was gonna be
Yeah.
published.
You were so inspiring. Oh my god.
Wow. And I mean, to top it all off, like the whole cherry on top, I mean, the Spell Shop hit New York Times bestseller list. Is
Okay, I have
do
to tell
you
you that that was a big, big moment.
Big
Okay,
moment.
I was gonna say, what was this moment for you? And I'm
Um,
sure you remember where you were. Please tell us the details. We had an author tell us about standing on a ladder when they found out. We had
Oh,
another
that's a bad
one
idea when
who was
kids
like dying of the
did they fall
flu.
off? Were they okay?
Oh no, I think they were good, right?
Oh yeah, she was fine.
I think she was good.
I
I don't think
definitely
she
would have
fell.
fallen off. Yeah, no, I don't yeah, one thing that's really been lovely about having that dream come true was that it lived up to its expectations. It really I dreamed of it for a very long time, and it's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Um, so when it happened with Spell Shop, I was on book tour, and I was in North Carolina, and my husband was actually with me because it was his birthday, so he'd come down for that leg of the journey, and it was right before I was doing a book event, and I had just gotten dressed, and I knew that so the way it works, the New York Times list comes out publicly loosely around 7 p.m. every Wednesday. And I knew the publisher gets told loosely around 4 p.m. every Wednesday, and then they can tell their authors. So when it hit 4 p.m. and the phone didn't ring, I was like, okay, I guess it didn't happen. But the
Yeah.
timing, which I didn't really know, is not precise. It's not exactly at 4 p.m., just like it's not exactly at 7 when they post it.
Hmm.
So it was like, a little while after that. And then I saw my editor's name pop up on the phone,
And you were like, it's happening.
and
It's the moment.
I promptly lost it. Like, I had no chill. What? It was I mean, managed to answer the phone, but I was sobbing. It was one of those incandescent moments where you feel like the whole universe is just singing. And I feel
Yeah.
so tremendously lucky
Yeah.
that it happened and that the book has been resonating with people. And it's been a really joyous experience, and I
Yeah.
am really committed to enjoying every single second of good
Yeah.
things that come from it.
After all of that success, how did your life change? Either in your writing routine, confidence even?
I've just been writing more and more. I
Yeah.
just it
I
just
love it.
made me want to put my foot on the gas and just hold the gas pedal all the way down and write as many stories as I possibly can. I mean, being a writer is so much about just believing in yourself. Even in the face of, like, objective fact, just, like, holding
Yeah.
on to that belief that you can do it, and having people read the book, it helps.
Yeah.
It does help, especially if they like it, like, don't tell me if you don't like it, I don't wanna know. But having other people see themselves in the characters, see themselves in Keela, see themselves in Terlu, other people loving Kaz as much as I do is just it just makes me wanna write more and more. To be fair, most things make me wanna write more and more, so this is not unusual for me, but it absolutely does. I've just been loving it. I love meeting
Yeah.
readers, so I've been doing as many events as I can. I love writing stories, so I've been writing as much as I can. The house is a disaster. One needs
You're
to
so
triage other
busy.
things, but,
Yeah.
can't remember when I
Wow.
last vacuumed, but it's fine.
That's fine
It's
as
fine.
long as you're
It's
writing.
fine.
The floor is
If
not
you're writing, you're
crunchy.
not. Yeah, you're not even present in your home. You're present up here when you're writing, anyway. So it's like you're not
Absolutely.
even.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly, man. And then, of course, we are eagerly awaiting Sea of Charms, the third book in the Spell Shop series, and it's coming in 2026.
Mhm.
Can you tell readers a little bit about what they can expect from that one?
Absolutely. So Sea of Charms is set in the same world as Spell Shop, but like Enchanted Greenhouse, it is a standalone, so you can read it without having read the other. But if you have read Greenhouse, you have met the protagonist of Sea of Charms. Her name is Marin, and she is a sailor, and she is sailing with her crew, which consists of a sea serpent named Perry, Ree, who is a plant who loves the sea, and Dax, who is a musician. I had so much fun writing it because
Oh
the
my
cool
god.
thing is that Marin's on a boat, so she goes places. So I got to visit a whole bunch of new islands in this book.
Can Okay, you don't have to answer, but I'm just curious now. Can we expect Marin to visit a certain island?
I cannot answer that.
Wow. Okay, it's okay. It's just
It's
gonna
okay.
be all that much better when we read it because we're
I
gonna be
know.
surprised.
I can't,
We'll see.
You see, you'll have to see.
and
Yes.
I just have to say, the covers, I don't know who makes your covers, but round of applause for them. They are the most beautiful covers ever. And I think Sea of Charms might be my favorite. It's
I love
gorgeous.
it. It's gorgeous. The artist is named Lulu Chan, and she's just brilliant. It's like she looked inside my brain and scooped out the image, and then there
Oh,
she goes.
Yeah.
She actually has on her Instagram, if you look for the greenhouse cover, she's got like a little making of video of where she like
Oh,
did a 3D modeling of the greenhouse and tried different
that's
angles.
so
And
that's
like,
cool.
it's
cool.
very cool. She does a gorgeous, gorgeous job. And I'm just so thrilled to have her
Yeah,
work
they're
grace my
beautiful.
books.
Yes, and so just a couple of fun questions for you. I'm so curious about this. If the spell shop was ever adapted, which thinking about it, we will manifest it for you, Sarah. I need it to happen. Who would you dream cast for Keela and also voice actor for Kaz?
I don't know for Keela. Who do you think? Who do you guys think for Keela?
I think
I
I feel
think
like someone tough. I
Hmm.
think we need her to be a tough actress.
and
In
I
my
feel like
head,
yeah, I feel like I don't know if I can think of anyone out there now, but maybe there's someone like we haven't seen before, like a new
Yeah,
actress. I would love that.
that would
I
be
don't
cool.
know.
I'm thinking tough as in a sense of Jennifer Lawrence, kind like not going to be pushed
Ooh,
around, kind of librarian.
that's
I like
sweet.
that.
I like
So,
That
that.
works.
but I'm not sure about Kaz.
I
Kaz's
know.
I
voice
do think
actor.
Kaz, I can hear Alan Tudyk.
Okay, I will be looking this person up.
Yep, he does.
Tudyk. What other work does he do?
He was Wash in Firefly, and he's a lead role in Resident Alien, and he's also have you seen Star Wars Rogue One?
Mhm.
Oh, it's
He's
gonna
the
get
robot.
into me.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's exciting.
Right? I think that would be really cool.
That is a
That would be
robot
really cool.
becomes a talking plant. I love that for him.
When two worlds collide.
Yes! That is so amazing. And then we love to ask all of our guests if you could have dinner with any author, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Such a good question. Like, who would you pick?
Who would we
I,
pick? Oh my
we
gosh.
might pick the same people.
Yeah, we may pick
Honestly, I'd pick Sarah J. Maas, maybe Rebecca Yarros.
Sarah Beth Durst so she
Sarah
can
Beth
answer
Dur-
all of my
Yes!
questions. I'll make her answer my questions over dinner.
Ah!
That sounds lovely.
Yes.
That'll be great.
Thank you.
I think I'd probably have to pick Jane Austen because
Oh, that's a
Yes,
good one.
that is a good one.
right? And
It's
then I
so
would
easy to remember like mainstream current now authors, but
Yeah.
going back to the classics is
I think
perfect.
I adored how Jane
Yeah.
Austen does dialogue, and I just
Yeah.
want to ask about that.
Yeah, and I'm so curious just about her life also as a woman writing back
Right?
then in a predominantly male field. I want to know, I have so many questions for her, and I just want to know how she was perceived at first. So I think
Yes.
that would be a really interesting conversation.
And what kept her writing? Like,
Yeah. 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 Oh
Oh,
gosh.
no, those are good points.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that you can think of that you would like to share with our listeners?
mm.
I know you have a new book coming out in 2026, also coming out soon, which
Yeah.
is not a part of the Spell Shop series.
Yes, that's true. I can show you the arc for that. That is
It's so beautiful.
Wow.
It's the
Again,
faraway Anne.
the
It's gonna have
cover is
beautiful
beautiful.
It's gonna have
Oh,
sprayed edges, which is gonna be really pretty, like, with flowers on it. It's gonna be gorgeous.
yes.
Oh my
So
God.
it's actually a YA, and it is also cozy fantasy, but it's not set in it's set in our world, and it's about a 16-year-old from Brooklyn who just had her heart broken, so
Oh.
she decides to spend the summer at her great aunt's bed and breakfast in upstate Vermont, like, middle
Oh,
of nowhere in
Wow.
mountains. Vermont, and she gets there, and the inn is it's a lot more secrets than she thought it
Wow.
did.
I'm so excited to read it.
That
I
is
am very excited about it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's coming in April, and then Sea of Charms is coming in July,
Yeah.
and I'm very excited about both.
wow.
Yes.
2026 is a busy year.
It's
We're so
busy year.
excited. Wow. And where can our listeners find you on social media, your website, anywhere you want
Yeah.
to send them?
My website is sarahbethdurst.com. And it's got first chapters from all of my books if you wanted to take a taste and see what you're in the mood for. I also maintain the events page there and try to keep it as up to date. So if you want to come meet me or have dinner, that's where I am. Then you can come find me. For social media, I'm just at Sarah Beth Durst on basically everything. On probably Instagram is where I'm most there, but I'm also on TikTok and Blue Sky and Threads and Facebook and
All
yeah,
the things.
All the things.
thing.
Yay.
Awesome.
Man.
And I love hearing from readers, and if you have, spider plant pictures, feel
Oh,
free to send them.
I still
Will
can't
do.
get over your little crocheted spider plan.
So
It's just
cute.
So cute.
so cute.
I
But
love it.
thank you so much for joining us today. We absolutely loved
Yes,
having
thank
you
you.
and I just love you as a person. Like the
I
way
know.
you talk about how much you love to write is very, very
It makes me want
inspiring.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
stop everything I'm doing and write, like, right
You
now. You're
Yeah,
so
you
like
inspiring.
should. Yes, yes. Well, that's another thing I'd love to say to everybody out there, that absolutely everyone has stories inside them that no one else can tell. So if you have anything inside you telling you to write, you should just write them, even if you never will share it with anybody else. Just bring a story to life that didn't exist before, because no one
Yeah.
else can tell your stories.
Sarah, I need you to teach, like, a workshop or something that I can come to because you are so insightful.
yes.
We will come.
Wow.
All right, guys, we just want to say a big thank you to Sarah for just hanging out with us today. It was so much fun getting to talk all about the spell shop, her writing journey, and of course, what's coming next.
Yes, and if you want to check out Sarah, we'll have all of her links in the show notes so you can follow her, support her, and of course, grab her books.
Don't forget, guys, we'll be back next Thursday with another episode. Make sure you're following us so you don't miss it.
Bye.
Bye.